Let me just ask you something. Are you still turning up to work every day in dirty, cement-covered jeans and worn-out work boots? Wouldn't you rather be wearing smart jeans, a crisp shirt, and actually running your company? Well, if you're still physically working on site, you're swinging hammers, you're laying bricks, or you're dealing with all those site emergencies yourself, you really are holding your business back, and you probably feel trapped in the process. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can put down those tools for good, once and for all. You can confidently hire the right people to help you, and you can build a construction business that doesn't depend entirely on you. I want you to stop sacrificing your health, your wealth, and your sense of self. And I'm going to tell you all about that very shortly so that you can keep running things profitably and the way you should be. So first, let's just talk about why do most construction business owners get stuck on the tools? Well, firstly, you may believe it actually saves you money by working. You may be worried that your employees won't deliver the same quality as you. You think that clients demand your personal touch. Or maybe you just feel a little bit guilty or uncomfortable because you're finally trying to step away. But let me just tell you the truth about it. If you're physically working on site every day, you're not building a business. You're just giving yourself a really busy, stressful job. And then you've got to do the physical work and then go home and do all the paperwork. It's a huge barrier to growth. Let's just firstly talk about why staying on the tools is actually dangerous, not just for your business, but for you personally. So number one, it's your health. The construction industry is physically demanding, isn't it? And long-term physical work, if you're doing that year on year, it wears you down. It increases your risk of injury, and it's going to shorten your active career. You can't sustain that forever. So you need to come off the tools, firstly, to think about your health. Secondly, we need to think about your wealth. Every hour you're physically working on site, you're actually limiting your earning potential because you're only earning an hourly wage. You can't focus on the sales, you can't focus on the strategy or the growth, which actually means you're leaving real hard-earned money on the table there. So you're going to affect your health massively. You also need to think of your sense of self. When you stay stuck on site, it damages your confidence and your own self-worth. You never really feel like a true business owner. You're just a busy worker trapped in your own company. So you need to come off the tools for those three things: your health, your wealth, and yourself. So how do you achieve this? Step number one, you've got to shift your mindset from being a tradesman to a CEO. So before you can physically put down the tools, you need to mentally let go of them. Now, I know that sounds really simple, but for most construction business owners, it's actually the hardest step of all, because it actually requires a complete shift in your personal identity, and that's not easy to do. Because right now, if you're on the tools, you probably see yourself as a tradesperson who may happen to own a business. And you may define yourself and your business by the quality of your on-site work. You're probably proud of your physical craftsmanship, and maybe you're a little bit nervous about trusting others to maintain your high standards. Well, look, if that's how you feel, I get it, I understand it, I've been there myself. But if you truly want to scale, you have to first start and shift your identity completely. You're no longer a tradesperson first. You're now a CEO of a growing construction company. And as the CEO, your value is not measured by how well you swing that hammer or how well you lay bricks. It's measured by how effectively you can build and manage a profitable, self-sufficient company. So here's exactly how you shift your mindset in a practical way. Number one, clarify your new role clearly. You really need to understand what your role is. Write down your key responsibilities as the CEO, such as estimating, marketing, building relationships, training people in your company. These are the things that a CEO should be doing and focusing on the growth and the strategy. That needs to be your daily focus rather than those physical on-site tasks. You then need to learn how to delegate small tasks first to build trust. So think about your simple on-site tasks or repetitive admin tasks. You want to delegate those tasks with clearly defined outcomes to those on site so you can step away. That proves to you that your team can handle things reliably without your constant supervision, and that will gradually build your trust in them. And the third thing you want to do is start thinking strategically, not operationally. Instead of asking yourself, oh, how can I finish this task faster? Start asking yourself, who can I trust to handle this task consistently? Or what process can I build so I never have to handle this task personally again? again. You need to remember this really critical distinction. Tradespeople will build projects, CEOs will build teams and systems that build the projects. This is really the critical mindset shift that changes everything for you. And once you start thinking this way, putting down those tools will not feel like a real loss to you. It will feel like a really powerful and progressive step forward to finally achieving the freedom and growth that you've always dreamed about. So that's step number one. You've got to shift your identity to become and think like a CEO. Step number two, you really need to work out how many tradespeople do you actually need to stop working. So how can the business afford it if you step away completely? Well, here's just a simple practical rule I've always used really successfully. Let's imagine each skilled tradesperson you hire generates you, say, 10,000 of profit per year after wages and overheads, which is really, really easily achievable. Then if you hire, say, 5 of these tradespeople and they're generating you 50K a year, that should comfortably cover your on-site salary. So think of it like that. So that just really means if your business has 5 productive, properly priced tradespeople, then effectively you can put down the hammer and the trowel and you can step away from that physical labor knowing that your income is fully covered. Now, they were really conservative figures. You probably want your tradespeople to be generating double that, but there's no complex maths here. You just need to ensure that you consistently price your jobs properly to achieve a margin big enough for you to be able to step off the tools. Step number 3 is that you want this transition off the tools to be a gradual one. You don't want to do it all at once. So when you do this, it really mitigates the risk for you of if you try and do it all at once, it can be really stressful and may not work. So phase number 1, you really need to hire and train properly. So start off just hiring one good tradesperson first of all, work alongside them, show them how you work, your quality standards clearly, and then gradually you want to let them take the lead on site. So that reduces your physical involvement step by step. Phase 2, you need to steadily increase that team. So as you start seeing the profits increasing and the first tradesperson's doing really well, then you go and hire your second and third tradesperson. Again, communicate your standards and expectations, work alongside them a little bit, but you will then be able to confidently step away maybe another day or 2 per week. And then phase 3, you gradually want to step back completely from that physical work. So once you've got those 4 or 5 tradespeople, your role on site should really be quite minimal, limited purely to site checks, quality control, and a few client meetings, things like that. So that then means you can spend more of your time estimating, more of your time selling, and strategically growing your business, and you'll end up seeing it snowball and grow quite quickly once you start doing that. But if you do like a really steady, controlled approach, that ensures your quality stays high, your stress levels stay low because you know it's being done the right way, and then you can confidently put down those tools for good. Step number 4 is you've really got to avoid micromanagement. This is the biggest trap. As you start to step away, the number 1 mistake business owners make is they jump back in at the first sign of trouble. And if you start doing that, if you're constantly there to solve every small problem on site, your team member never understand or learn true independence. So here's how you want to avoid micromanaging. Firstly, you want to clearly delegate your outcomes, not tasks. So tell them what you want to achieve for the day rather than outline every single task that's needed to fulfill that outcome. And give your team some simple autonomy for making small decisions. Maybe you can say, if we're purchasing something, anything under £500 can be purchased without my approval. That could give them a little bit of autonomy. And when issues do arise, which they will, rather than you trying to solve it straight away, encourage a bit of independence and initiative and ask them how they would solve it. And that gradually means they're being less and less reliant upon you on site. Now, step number 5 is you gradually need to test your independence. Now, this is the really rewarding part where you get to test, is the business truly independent or not? So first of all, just take 1 day per week where you're off site and you're completely unplugged. You're not answering the phone, you're just leaving them to it. And then gradually you might want to increase this to 2 or 3 days. Eventually you might want to take a short break and go and have a few days off and go on holiday for a long weekend. But each time you do that, check back after with your team. What went really well, what didn't, and then you're going to learn from that and you're going to refine it and you're going to repeat it. The more you do this, the more you'll build confidence and see that actually your team can handle things without your constant presence being there. And that testing phase is really crucial to lasting independence. So just summing all that up, what happens if you don't put down the tools? Well, if you resist this and you stay on site forever, the stark reality is your business growth will stagnate. There's only so much you can do because you become the bottleneck. Your physical health and your mental well-being will suffer from stress and exhaustion. You can't do it all. And you'll keep missing those critical family moments and personal milestones. You'll miss out on your personal goals because you're constantly working all the time. That's not why you started this business. Staying on the tools doesn't save money. It costs you your health, your wealth, and as we said, your sense of self. So if you're serious about stepping away permanently and building a thriving business that you can comfortably lead without you needing to be on site, on the tools daily, the next step is really simple. Just subscribe and like this video and stay tuned for the next one, because I'll constantly guide you through creating a 1 to 5 million business that runs like a well-oiled machine.